What's going on, guys? Thrills on the block back again, and we've got a 1980 Chevy Camaro we're about to do some paint work on. Alright, so I had a client drop this vehicle off. He had it sprayed by somebody else and wanted me to take a look at cutting a buff in this car. So in the video screen that you're looking at, it probably looks like this is not too bad of a paint job. You can see some glossy reflectiveness there, some glossiness there. As you get closer, you can see there is quite a bit of texture in this paint. That's the fender, and that's the trunk. So to me, it looks like the trunk lid was actually shot separate from the car. That's what that looks like to me. Looks like this part was shot separate from the car. Because if this was shot all at the same time, you'd have a lot more consistency here. But it's really inconsistent. There is some gloss there, but there's quite a bit of orange peel. Quite a bit of orange peel. So walking around the vehicle, there is quite a bit of trash in this door. There's some dirt nibs that I don't see elsewhere. It's almost like the door was painted separate from the rest of the car. And you can see the finish is different. You can see the difference there. And that inconsistency is spray pattern, probably some trash, and maybe some body work. Hard to tell. I think there's a piece of trim that goes on the outside of this door. Now, I'm not sure when this door was painted, but the paint still seems like it's a bit soft. It's weird. See a little imprint from a fingernail there. I also noticed on this door that there is a bubble in the paint. Right there where my finger is. It's hard to tell, but yeah, there's a bubble in there. Right there. So, probably not going to do anything there because it's probably going to pop or peel up or something of that nature. Just doing this walk around to kind of get an idea of if there's any other areas that are trouble spots, aside from getting the trash out of here and cutting all these parts. That's actually not too bad. I think this was painted off the car too. Well, you can see the texture there, but that part actually looks better than the body itself. Quite a bit of work, not gonna lie, quite a bit of cutting on this car. Generally, when I shoot one, you got a good glossy mirror reflection. So didn't see this one laid out quite as well, but this one wasn't shot by me. We're just gonna come in and see what we can do with it. Let's give you an idea. There's the fender, looks pretty decent. This hood has a ton of texture. And these hoods are not fun to sand or polish. All the curving textures, and this will take like a 3-inch down to here to polish it out because your 7-inch is really too wide. I've got a 5-inch and it's really too wide for this. I got to do it with a small, and then I can get my big one back up here. And you can see how flat the hood is. The further I back away, you can really tell how much texture's in there. If you get in close, the camera kind of autofocuses and it doesn't look near as bad in the camera as it does when you're looking at it in person. Let's see. So the back bumper, something happened there. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Transition back there on the back bumper. Driver quarter. Again, that looks pretty sharp. So you back up and you can see Typically when you back away it gets clear, but well, you can see how much orange peel is there. So let's see, moving to the top. Doesn't look like a lot of trash in the top at all. So probably, you can see the difference there. That looks pretty decent. Texture. I mean, you can see like almost no reflection there. Yep. And this right here, I mean, these really should have glassed up really nice because you've got a concave arc in all of these. So that clear should have, if the clear was at all wet, it would have laid in here and it should have glassed out really well. Typically, you don't have to even come in here and touch these, but like I said, got quite a bit of work to do. We're gonna see what we can do with this thing. I didn't paint the car. I don't know how much paint or clear is on the car. I was told it was a couple coats of base and maybe 2 to 3 coats of clear. The clear at the top, it looks like there was dry spray that landed on the hood because it's real hazy. Aside from the orange peel, it looks like it's hazy. And you can see quite a bit of texture in the paint. Some of it's clear, some of it's actually bodywork, but we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and get the 1500. We're gonna cut a 1500 first, probably dry, and then I'll blow it off and see how much work I've got to do. You can see the amount of trash in that trunk deck lid. So that's enough of me yakking. I'll grab some tools and let's get to work. So some polishing essentials that you're gonna need for polishing any paint job. One, you wanna make sure your car is clean. This car was washed, it's got a little bit of dust on it. So I'm gonna grab a microfiber and we'll just wipe it down. See, I got my respirator here. Want to make sure you protect your lungs anytime you do sanding and or polishing, depending on what you're using. So clean surface, you'll want a DA sander, or you can do it with a block. Because of the amount of cutting I've got to do, I'm going to use the DA dry the first time, using a variable speed 6-inch short throw sander. And I've got an interface pad here. This is actually a 3M interface pad. So that interface pad takes care of keeping you from burning through the edges, like here, and maybe there, this here. When you approach the edges of your panels. So that's what that's for. And I'm gonna start with 1000 grit in the very heavy spots. Typically I would not use 1000 grit, but because I'm gonna be sanding up to probably 5,000 in areas, definitely 3,000. We'll get those 1000 grit scratches out. Typically, you're going to want to start with 1,500. I think I have some 1,500 here. If I don't, I'll start with that. Basically, I'll be using that back here where you can see how much orange peel / dry spray is in the paint. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. So now on this other panel, I'll probably start that at 3,000. So anyway, first pass is going to be dry. That's just kind of give me an idea of how flat I can get it and how much more flattening I need to do before we start the final cut and polishing. All right, so before I start this, I'll bring you guys in here and show you the scratches. That's just wiping it down. So let's see what we can do. Okay. Bring you guys in here so you can see what that first pass did. This is pretty flat, still a bit of texture here, a bit of texture there. This is the line where the spoiler was mounted at. Yeah, that's what that is. Typically you shouldn't see that if your body work was done right, but that's what that line is there. Dirt nib, dirt nib, dirt nib. Those trashes in the clear coat. It's flattened out pretty good there. Still have quite a bit of flattening left. Even the areas that look like they're flat, when you get closer, you can see how much texture is still there. So I'm going to work it a little bit more, I think, with 1,000. Maybe turn this side here, because there's some dry spray or something here you can see on top of the clear. So we're gonna work this area down, then I'll switch up to 2,000 or 3,000 and come back and flatten it out some more, and we'll continue moving forward. Okay, so you see that I had to go back with another pass of the 2000 wet. Still had too much texture. There's a lot of texture in this clear. Had to do quite a bit of cutting. We're going to go through with 3000 and see if I can get this polished or pre-polished before we put the rotary on this. Like I said, I don't know how much clear is on this car, so this is all guesswork. Not how I like to do it by any means, but this is a way to do it. That's not the first way. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut with 3000 and then we will get ready to polish this panel out. Still got a bit more cutting to do up here. And you can see some haziness. I got another compound I'll go with over top of this to take that out. But if you get in there at just the right angle, you will see that there are some little sanding scratches in there. Right there. Those are 2,000 grit. They're not 1,000 grit scratches. They may be 1,000. Yeah, maybe 1,000 right up here at the top. You can still see quite a bit of orange peel. Let's work ourselves around to the edge here. Look down the side here. Get all my dust off of there. Now, that's a whole lot better than we were before. You can see there's still some trash here. Those are actually dimples in the panel. So it must be solvent pop in the clear, because that's below the surface of where I just polished. Now, as far as clarity, that's before. And that's after. So definitely a lot clearer. Definitely clearer. Still some scratches in there, so probably start elsewhere. Well, actually no, this rocked a 2,000 and 3,000. We're gonna have to get a block out and just take it down slow, because there's a lot of cutting that needs to happen to get us to our goal, which is this. And that'll be good quality driver right there. And there will be some imperfections in there. As you can see, those little craters right up there and there. Won't be too much we can do about those other than keep going down. But I don't want to go too deep because, again, I don't know how much clear is on this thing. So playing it safe, trying to get a nice, even, clean product. We're on the right track. I'm going to go back and probably cut this side down with a block and 2,000 or 3,000 by hand. I don't think I'm gonna put 1,500 on any other panel. I'll probably do a first pass at the 15 and then stop there just to knock the rough edges down. Because it cut into the clear quite a bit, and it's a lot of sanding to get that out, which just means it'll take more of the lesser grit paper to get down to where I need to get to. But as you can see, the amount of orange peel there is pretty prevalent. So it's a lot of flattening, dirt nibs in there we got to get out. So quite a bit of sanding, quite a bit of polishing to do. Just want to kind of give you guys a quick walkthrough on your cut and your buff. And that is that right there. I'm gonna wrap up this video. In the next video, I think I'll just do a time lapse of the process, working various areas on the car. And if I see anything in particular, I'll stop the video and show you guys. Until then, my name's Erwin. This was in a block. We're giving back what time has taken away. We'll see you soon.